All right, so this is 310 experimental, and we're going to do the write code practice part. And for each of these, as we've done before, at the end of each unit, we've been asked to write code that makes the situation work. And we did the toggle part the other day where we were able to, I guess not toggle, just the blocks, move them across from left to right. And now we're going to be actually writing code. So we'll read each prompt and we'll go through each question. There are a few, 11 it looks like in total. So starting off, it says write code that tests guess to see if it is equal to answer or too high or too low. If it is too high, as in the example below, it should print your guess is too high. Okay, so we'll say we have our guess and we have our answer. So I'll say if guess is the first thing, if it's equal to the answer. So if guess equals answer, I want to write system dot, I'll zoom in a bit, system dot out dot print line, and I'll say correct. Okay, and I'll say else if we'll say guess is if it's too high. So if guess is greater than the answer, then we want to print out system.out.println your guess is too high. All right. And then anything else would mean that it would be too low, right? So I'll say else. I'll close it. My else is system.out.println. I'll say your guess is too low. Okay, so this doesn't loop through, it just tells you one time. Have my int guess. So let's say we've collected some user input and to assign the value of 10. We store that as guess. The answer is actually 5. If my guess was the correct answer, then print out correct. Else if the guess was higher than the answer, so your guess is too high, and then anything else, system.out.println, I should probably spell that right. I have all my semicolons there, open and close. Let's see if I got this right. All right, so I got it right. And if I want to like change this, I don't know, let's say I actually do guess the right answer and I run it. So it's correct. Okay. And then if I were to say, I don't know, 4, the answer would be, I know. It says your guess is too low. It's telling me, I think you got it wrong. I'm just showing you all the different possibilities. All right, so we run it. It naturally is expecting your guess is too high, and it passed. All right, 4 out of 4. Good job. Moving on. Okay. It says write code that prints you can go out if you don't have any homework, and if cleaned, and have cleaned, and otherwise prints you cannot go out. Okay, so I'll go ahead and start off here, and I'll say if, and we're going to end up putting a condition in there. I'll go ahead and close it, and then we'll say an else, anything else, and we'll put condition in there. So if you don't have any homework left, so if homework left equals, Boolean. Okay, so if homework left is false and clean your room is true. So we'll say if homework left, I put an exclamation point out in front to make it true, right? If that's true and your room is clean, so you have no homework left, okay, and everything's cleaned, if they're both true, then I want to print out system.out.println, say you can go out. I'm going to copy this, be efficient, and we'll say system.out.println, you cannot go out. Let's take a look through this. The reason why I add this exclamation point after homework left, basically saying like, if this is true and this is true. So homework left is actually false, but putting the exclamation point out in front of it makes it true, meaning that you don't have any homework left. Homework left is false. Yes, I know that. But if it is false, that then makes it true. And I want both of these to be true. And I'll go ahead and print this out. Let's see if I made any mistakes. And it looks like it's right. Okay. So is there homework left? Okay, there is no homework left. That's great. And you have cleaned your room, then you can go out. Okay, next one says, write code that tests if X is between 1 and 10 and prints this, or X is not in range. Okay, so simple if else. So I'm just going to copy this, right, that we had above. And I can always just change the condition. And I'll say, obviously going to take out this. I'll take out whatever was in system.out.println. Right. So write code that tests if X is between 1 and 10. Okay, so we can say if X is, so if X is greater than or equal to 1, and X is less than or equal to 10, then print out this right here. I'm just going to copy it, paste, and then I'm going to copy it and paste. There's a student in my computer science class that said Control C, Control V, and Control X were the only things he learned in college. And they're the most useful things. Being able to copy and paste things and then make slight changes afterwards. So let me run this and see if I did anything wrong. All right, looks like I passed everything. So if this number were to change, right now 3 falls between 1 and 10 inclusively, and it should print out 1 is less than or equal to X and less than or equal to 10. Okay. X is less than or equal to 10. Moving on, this says write code that prints out if the string message has the word ringing in it or not. It should print out answer the phone if ringing is in the message. And I don't hear anything if not. Okay, so once again, I had copied it before. Actually, that's the wrong thing I copied. I'll go ahead and copy my if else from up here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and take all this out. I'm going to take out this and I'll put print out answer the phone. And then anything else, and I don't hear anything if not. So I don't hear anything. So now we need our condition. Okay, so I need to look and see if the message, so in the message it says, is that the phone ringing? Okay, and one of the ways that we use, if you take a look back, okay, what are some ways to test and see if a word is actually in a message? And if you remember correctly, right, we went through in a very similar fashion in the last unit, and it said if, and you use message.index of, and then the ringing is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so we would use a similar message.index of, and then actually type the word is greater than or equal to 0. Oh, I just took away my code. Did it at least say I did it? Okay. Let's go here. Okay, so it took away everything. That's why I don't usually leave it. So we'll say if message dot index of, and then I'll add in if ringing is greater than or equal to 0, meaning that if we're able to find this in there, system dot out dot print line, it says answer the phone. Answer the phone. And then else, anything else, I'll go ahead and copy my print line. Instead of answer the phone, I can say, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. Okay, so is the phone ringing? We check and see, like, remember the index, you're checking, this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. It's saying we're looking for the word ringing. And if that's somewhere in there, like where does ringing start? The index of ringing, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 would actually be the index. Is 18 greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0? Yes. So we would print out answer the phone. If we didn't have the word ringing in there, then it would print out I don't hear anything. Let's run it. And it says answer the phone. All right. Similar to our example the other day as well. It says, this is saying that pizza and wings are junk food. As I mentioned the other day too, I think the pizza that I make, we make pizza as a family every Friday. We either make it on flatbread or pita bread or naan. Make homemade pizza. I don't think it's junk, but it says pizza and wings are junk. So your code should check to see if the variable fave food value is pizza or wings. If it is, it should print out your favorite food is junk. So if, and we'll say fave food, and we'll say dot equals pizza, and then we will say, or I'll copy this, fave food equals wings. Make sure you close it at the very end as well there. I guess need my curly brace too. Close it. So if your favorite food is pizza or wings, then print out your favorite food. Your favorite is junk food. Put that inside quotation marks. And then anything else I guess pizza and wings are the only two possible junk foods that this is expecting. So we'll say your favorite food is, your fave is not junk. Okay. So it says your fave food is kale. I like kale, but kale chips are pretty good, but I'm also not going to survive off of just eating kale. Let's run it. There you go. So since my favorite food is kale in this example, what if I said my favorite food is ice cream? If I run it, it says your favorite food is not junk. There you go. So if you're ever feeling bad about what you're eating, you feel bad about yourself, just type it in here and this will confirm that what your favorite is not junk food. All right, next one. It says write code that prints your fine if you're speeding. I told a story last time about me speeding and how I was at the top of a hill and I was in Virginia. And at the top of the hill, the speed limit was 45. Or sorry, it was 55. At the bottom of the hill, the speed limit was 45. This big hill, and there's a cop sitting right at the bottom of the hill. That just wasn't fair. So I did get a ticket. If you're going over 65 but less than 75, the fine is 50. Okay, so we'll say if your speed is greater than, if you're going over 65, so it's over 65 but less than 75, and your speed is less than 75. Whoops. Add my curly braces here. And we'll say system dot out dot print line. And we're going to print out that your fine is $50. Else if, go ahead and already add my curly braces there. While I'm at it, I'll just set up my else too. All right. So else if speed is greater than or equal to 75 and the speed is also less than 85, speed is less than 85, then I want to print out a fine of $100. And then any other value, so anything else, you should get fined $200. So 85 and up, you get a ticket of $200. Let's go ahead and run it. Let's see if I did anything wrong. Looks right. Unfortunately, I was going 95 in a 65, or sorry, 90 in a 65 here, and I got a $200 fine. It's not good. All right, write the code that prints the alarm time. If it is a weekday, you should get up at 7 a.m. And if not, get up at 10 a.m. All right, so if it's the weekend, then I'll say system print line. We'll say 7 a.m. 7 o'clock a.m. Anytime else that isn't the weekend, I need to print out, sorry, anytime if weekend is true, so if it's not the weekend, I'm sorry, if it's not the weekend, then print out 7 a.m. And anything else, which would mean the weekend would be true if it is the weekend. So make sure to put an exclamation point in front of weekend. I don't know why I was thinking that as weekday. So if it's not the weekend, only on weekends we sleep until 10. But I'm sure many of you wake up earlier than 7 a.m. Maybe not. But let's run it. Looks true. All right. It says write code that prints if you can text now or can't text now. Okay. So if you're driving or eating. So if driving or eating. System.out.println. Okay, so if I'm driving, can't text now. And then else. So if you're driving or eating, you can't text now. But if you aren't texting, I'm sorry. If you aren't driving and you aren't eating, then you can text. You only get food all over your phone. Can text now. All right, that's what I got. If you're driving or eating, can't text now. Let's print it out, see what we got. So what it wants me to do is, it wants me to put out in that order, can text now. So can and can't, but it wants me to change it. So if you're not driving or so you can text now if you're not driving and you're not eating. By putting the not in there, that changed it up. All right, so make sure that you put it in this order. What I wrote, my code would have worked, but they want it specifically in this order. So if you're not driving and you're not eating, you can text now. Anytime else, you can text. There you go. All right, write code that prints out whether your name starts with a vowel or starts, I have a double W. I wonder if that's a mistake. It looks like a mistake to me. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll scroll back up, copy this message right here. And I'll show you which one I copied. I copied the one with ringing. Okay, so we want to see write code that prints whether your name starts with a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, or starts with a consonant. All right, so I might not even need this. Yeah. Yeah, I might not need this. If first letter, or sorry, lower first. If lower first dot equals, and we'll say A. We'll go ahead and what we return starts with a vowel, A, E, I, O, and U. So I can go through and put a bunch of ors in here. So I'll say if lower first equals A, if lower first equals E, or right, or lower first equals I, or lower first equals O, or lower first equals U. So rather than writing one really long line that went off the page, I just went down to the next line. Okay. If that's true, right? If this is A, E, I, O, or U, I'm going to say system.out.println starts with a vowel. Okay, anything else? So if it's not A, E, I, O, or U, I know it must be a consonant. So I'll copy this. I'll say system.out.println starts with a consonant. All right, so let me walk through. It says string name is assigned Julian. The first letter of his name is taken, so it'd be a J, because 0, 1 would give you the substring first letter. And then we take string lower first and really take whatever first letter was and say dot to lowercase. I could have just taken this and tacked it on the end of this variable right here and not made a whole new separate variable, but oh well. Okay, starts with a vowel. Let's see if I did this right. Let's run it. All right, it likes it. So once again, the reason why I didn't just have one really long line here of an if is just it would run off the page and I couldn't see it. So I just hit enter and I lined it up to make it look nice. Okay. Now you can always add spacing. Like some people like extra spacing like this if they really want to. That's a personal preference. You can do something like that if you really want to. For me, I like blocking together similar things. So like I could have even just gone like this and just made it all one, but then I feel like everything's kind of jumbled together. So if all this, then do this. All right. Moving on. We got one more. Yep, last one. All right, a grade book. Person got a 73. We want to see if they got an A, B, or C. So I'll say if score is greater than 90, system.out.println. I'll just print out A. Else if here's what I'll do. Else if score is between 80 and 90. So else if score is, God bless you, greater than or equal to 80, give me a B. Else if score is greater than or equal to 70, system.out.println, and you get a C. Well, it says for a score between 60 and 70. So I wonder if it's not including either. Because it says for a score between, but then this says for a score between 60 and 70. I'll just keep going. Okay. I'll say else if score is greater than or equal to 60. Whoa. What happened there? If score is greater than or equal to 60, print out D. And then for all others, so anything else, system dot out dot print line an E, because apparently the school doesn't give out Fs, they give out E's. All right. So let me just take a look. This is saying, it says for a score greater than 90. So I wrote score greater than 90. For a score between 80 and 90. Well, if it's not greater than 90, then it goes to the next one. So if it's greater than, it says if a score is between 80 and 90. I don't know if that includes 80 or not. Between 80 and 90. I don't know. This might have to be not equals. This might have to be greater than, greater than, greater than. We'll see what it wants. Because really, isn't a 70 a C? Right? Is that right? Yeah. And 80 is a B. All right, we'll run it. Let's see what it wants. Hey, all right, got it right. But this one doesn't include 90. If score is greater than 90, it's saying 90 is a B. What happens if I put greater than or equal to? Does it care? Nope, doesn't care. Yeah, I mean, really, if you get a 90, it is an A. It's an A minus, but it's still an A. So I'll keep it greater than or equal to, because a 90 is an A. So include all greater than or equal to's and all these. Anything else is an E. We've attempted 11 of 11 activities on this page, completed, well done. And that was 310 experimental, and we did the right code practice part.